The big brand sale is on at OK Furniture and it's too good to miss. Enjoy massive savings on brands you know and love. And when you spend 2,999 or more, you'll stand a chance to win one of 20 shopping sprees worth 50,000 rands. Browse our catalog and grab your favorites before the 4th of May 2025. While stocks last, T's and C's apply. It is continued powered by World Sports Betting. It is Times. Orlando Pirates are the winners of the latest Soweto derby. It means nothing in the context of the league, or it means something in the context of the league. Who is to say? Mamelodi Sundowns are playing tonight against Cape Town City in Cape Town. If they slip up, it will still be a material 6-point or 5-point difference. However, the most important thing was that Orlando Pirates, the banana slip that was there around the corner, lingering on the horizon, which was Kaizer Chiefs, they've dealt with. They've won that game because in the title race, the last match you want to play is this one, where you play against a team who's number 9, who's not doing well, but because they're playing you in particular, they suddenly grow and they become transformers. So at least Orlando Pirates, in Tangazabo, their team, the team that was born from them, Kaizer Chiefs, they were able to dismiss them so that whatever happens in the so-called title race, which is probably, for all intents and purposes, is over, they were able to dismiss Kaizer Chiefs. If anything happens to Sundowns where they lose 3 or 4 matches in their remaining games, then the Soweto derby did not have a negative impact on Orlando Pirates' side. That being said, it's been a mouthful. What did you make of the game? I'm looking at your hairline like you took the brave step of not wearing a cap today. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm Mr. Nkeo. Yeah, no,
Yes,
for
sir.
nothing to I think clean up, man.
It's a brave step. You guys, you like taking care of yourselves.
No, you should. You should.
As long as uhlamba sunlight.
Clean, right, yeah.
As long as uhlamba sunlight green.
Just
never
sometimes.
Yeah, Ujasta naye uhlamba sunlight.
I just am prepare, Mr. Nkeo.
No.
It does look prepared. It looks
It
very
doesn't
nice.
put dawn like you or clear for men. And then manicure.
Nivea deep.
Says Luma Tininzi. You are a well prepared young man.
Yeah.
You know, well put together.
Yabona nesithing lentuza nabu juniors abafasi ilentuza.
Aye, mina, Junior, so we just put sunlight, not just this. Sifake sunlight in Sipho Elhlaza.
Yeah.
Sunlight, sifaka manzi, and then shield, nyana. That's it, never say in, and that's it.
It's good to be the youngest emsebenzini. So this is what the une ability yokuthi ubhekelela amagroup.
I don't look forward to working with people younger than you
Yeah.
in the future. What did you make of the Soweto derby, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Nkeo, lithi ngikhuluma bomb squad ngara ngibulisa chairman, technical
sir.
director, ngibulisa Justa, ngibulisa namajita ra stadium uShay no Bobzin. Mr. Nkeo, a match of consequence, a big game in South African football, a derby, a game that says or tells you about the history of the biggest township we have in this country, which is Orlando. A match that separates families. Yes. A match that separates families.
Both of them don't come from Orlando.
From Soweto. Did I say Orlando?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. A team that speaks about the history of Soweto.
You're from Orlando.
For sure.
So that's why you're claiming this although, of course, Orlando is part of Soweto.
Yeah. Nkulego, a match that separates families, a match that separates communities. I think today the event, the match lived up to the event. I think it was a brilliant match to watch. We normally criticize the derby that it doesn't produce. I think the first half was for Kaizer Chiefs, the second half was for Orlando Pirates. But in Nkulego, just to get into the game, you look at the first 2 minutes of the game, Kaizer Chiefs gets a goal based on the mistake. Maku passes the opponent. Solomon drives with the ball in the box. I think Utoki was never supposed to let Ulilepo 10. A good finish, one touch finish, Ulilepo in the box. I don't think Usipo. I think Usipo begai block a movement. Utoki couldn't see that ball because Ucheki reaction Gasipo Nkulego. It was very late in that box.
It looks like he should have done better.
It looks like he should have done better. But an important point, Orlando Kaizer Chiefs capitalized on the delayed party game. I think the first 30 minutes delay, I think it played a crucial role. Now it speaks to conditioning, which is something that I think head coach now. That's why the head coach is important. That's why you need to understand conditioning, analysis, and all of those things. Now the question goes to not the coach, but the conditioning coach, because you are the one that's responsible for preparing the players. The mental preparation in the 30 minutes, making them understand the tactical game plan. I think where it worked well for Chiefs is that it gave Unabi an extra 30 minutes to prepare to see ukuthi Orlando Pirates attack kanjani, because they did something that they normally don't do. They attack with 4 players today. They didn't play with the number 10 today, Orlando Pirates, where I think they did that in the second half, which definitely won them the game. But you check that the first 20 minutes in Kulego, Kaizer Chiefs was very dominant in my opinion. And big up to Umar Nomkosi Mpilengobo, because they would avail Mbizeni. They normally don't avail. Abukunika would feed them, and then they would progressive ball, whether to Pulemodi, whether to Userino, who is a very dangerous player, playing in an uncomfortable position on the right-hand side. He has to drift in. He's not a winger that cross. So there's 2 things that you have to identify in the Kaizer Chiefs lineup. In the Kaizer Chiefs lineup, they've got 2 wingers that don't cross the ball. So how do you defend as your Orlando Pirates to make sure that you block the space inside? Because they're not going to bring the cross. They're going to want to cut in. And Bafunela Oma chop walk break at the last line. You look at the striker that they wanted to use today. They wanted a striker that has the ability of turning and finishing, or has the striker.
The interesting thing as well, just on that point, is that they decided that Lelepo is a striker today.
Yeah.
Because usually they will play him on the left-hand side.
There's 2 things they needed from him, Kuleko. The run behind, which is something that Tutu can offer, but also the technical ability to turn and finish. It doesn't need a lot to think. You can see decision-making even in that point. But there's 2 things in that 20 minutes that you have to speak about, because it's crucial. If you don't speak about that 20 minutes, then you're not going to be able to analyze the Pirates, because that 20 minutes, there's 2 things you have to identify. It's the counter-press Kaizer Chiefs. They did not allow Orlando Pirates to play, because they quickly realized, these guys are not in the game. The second thing also is the ability to score early. I think that brought them into the game. But now in the 23 minutes, I think something brilliant happens, because the Kaizer Chiefs gets on a transition. In that minute, they got into a 3v2 situation. Want to play a pass on the left-hand side. They intercept that ball. But Tumbata plays a crucial pass, a pass that makes the goal. Because in that pass, there's 2 things. It's a forward pass, but also the intensity, the speed of the pass. He plays that pass quicker to Mohau Nkota. The ability to see Mohau Nkota are free as well. In that high-pressure situation, brilliant from Umbata. Nkota drives with that ball. For me, he plays a pass.
I'm so tempted to say that's his job. Like a midfielder is supposed to see a forward player and give him the pass.
But I like the intensity of the pass.
Precisely, that's his job.
Yeah.
Like the Barcelona kids that we watched midweek, they were doing that because that's their job. Like, and it's not a comparison of European and African football. Everyone was playing in the midfield, supposed to do that the whole game. But it's good. It's good that he did that.
Do you know why we praise
that's
it,
his job.
We praise it because we don't see it week in, week out.
That's why we have to emphasize that that's their job. Like, that's why I have to counter the point that you're making by emphasizing. If the guys I know, they watch, you must know that's your job. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. It's not a critique. That's his job. He should do it every single game in and game out. Like we used to see Confessor Poles Ovilagazi, Tamangomeni, John Mueti. They used to do it every game, and they were not being paid 200,000. It's your job as a number 6. You break the play, you pass the ball forward. South Africa qualifies for the 1998 World Cup through a goal by Philemon Masenga. But who gets that ball? It's intercepted by Dr. Kumalo. He then lets go of the ball, gives it to Philemon Masenga. From 25 yards out, Philemon Masenga scores the goal. We qualify for our first ever World Cup. In the final of the 1996 African Cup of Nations, again, Dr. Kumalo intercepts the ball. He lets go of Mark Williams. He gives him the ball. Mark Williams finishes it with his left foot. That's in 1996. People were wearing heavy shin pads, and the kits were not as light as they are now. People were getting 2,000 rands, 8,000 rands, but they were doing it. It's his job. I'm not criticizing. I'm so sorry to the audience as well. I'm just saying every midfielder that we see passing the ball forward, they must do it. Maybe 12 times every match. 12 times every match. Well done to Umbata for doing that.
Where I agree with you, Nkulego, is the reason why I think he overprays her now is because we don't get an opportunity to see it often.
We must emphasize
it.
They
must do it because Nkulego, what makes that goal is exactly that pass. Break play.
You break play and then exactly. That's your job. Actually.
And Mohau Nkota plays the pass for me that alone it is every man of the match. That pass plays an unbelievable pass from Makopa. This is what we've always been criticizing Makopa. Play between those two center backs. He makes a brilliant run in behind to cross. That's where a striker is dangerous, Nkulego. We don't need a striker that drops into the pockets and becomes a number 10. You are not a creative, my brother. Firstly, you need imagination. Secondly, you need vision. Thirdly, you need the technical ability to find the pass. Does Umakopa have that? No. Play him in a space where his strength is. He did it against Sundowns, where he drifted to the right. Ashaul into he ran behind Suarez. He does it today again. One touch finish. Uvuma Puma. Sender. That's intelligent finish because he waits for Uvuma to open his legs. We run through his legs. He goes and celebrates. But now, Orlando Pirates coach makes an important decision in halftime. He takes out one of the wingers and he introduces Ukabelo Dlamini in midfield. That now brings two things. It brings control, it brings imaginations, but what is more important is the vision. Ukabelo is one of the best passers in my opinion. Should it be consistent? Yes, we just spoken about it now. He finds those diagonal passes, they take Urile onto the left-hand side, which also is a tactical detail that is important. They isolate Lentuzu Solomons because he bombs forward. But now Mohau Nkota absolutely destroyed today Cross. I think he's my man of the match today. I think we say Cross.
What did I say to you guys last week?
My God, yeah,
You
no,
guys were
right.
so happy
Yeah,
about
no.
Cross, and you said, okay, he's great. I said, give him Mohau Nkota.
Jesus Christ, Mohau Nkota reminds me of prime Lebogang Cheeseboy Mokoena makathathu Cyril Nzama angena out in Kuleko. Today Cross namhlanje uhambile wayedlubutshani. I think Junior Noto always mentions something. These games make you. And I think this game will always be reminded to Cross ukuthi destroyed by Mohau Nkota. I think it's a confidence booster firstly for Mohau Nkota. The previous Davi didn't play well. In my opinion, the pass to Umakopa, the 90 minutes consistent play, box to box, dribbling, winning your jewels, making sure that you create goal scoring opportunities. I think I'm a winger. Pirates are balanced. I think for me, Orlando Pirates, I did say in the beginning of the season that they've got the best attack. And Mohau Nkota dropped a little bit. Really, there was a 2 months at Tropile. I think today they reminded me of prime Gift Remy, prime Cheeseboy Mkwena, dribbling wizard, something that we've never seen. We've always said Mohau direct, but today we saw an element where he's a dribbling wizard, but impressed as well by Umbata in midfield. Absolutely impressed by the boy because he doesn't only play with energy in Kulego. He keeps the ball very well. He makes those forward passes. Yes, there was in the first half he played sloppy passes. There were periods where he lost the ball, but I like the energy in which he plays with him. And I love that Junior over the season, he gets to see that the boy has qualities which you can improve. Yes, he's not a perfect midfielder. He's not special. You can see Nkulego, he does have qualities of being a centre back or a winger. He does have power. You've seen the goals that he scores. He likes striking the ball from a distance. But Umakhupa and I, just to Chasha Umakhupa, there's an opportunity he gets in the chat. Relax, Alapayana. He strikes the ball. He was supposed to relax. Now, Nkulego, they missed so many opportunities, Orlando Pirates. I think, in my opinion, it could have been a 5-1 game, a 4-1 game, based on the opportunities they created. In the second half, the tactical details that the coach made, the defense, Mbandile Shandu, 0 mistakes from him, even though Ngatupule Modi had a terrible game, but 0 mistake. Agapasang opponent, he defended when he had to defend. He was organized when he had to be organized. The very same thing, Umako. 0 mistake from Umako, did his job, didn't pass the opponent. They build up. Umakaula bega avela when it's a restart, he would win his interceptions. I think it's an overall a professional performance. Ulupegu as well, no TLP. I think they were very solid. Usipo China helps them build up, helps them restarts, makes crucial saves. There's a save ayenzayo where Umarta dlala ibhola and it almost became an on-goal. Unbelievable save, positioning, leadership. He made a mistake during the week, but Usipo China, in my opinion, this entire season has been one of the best goalkeepers. Yes, he made a mistake. You don't judge people based on one mistake. Yes, Upumile costed the team, but look at the save he made last derby. Upule Modi, Kaizer Chiefs always started like this, if you remember. Upule Modi went out. He made a crucial save for Sipo China in that game. Today, he gets punished. But if you check the entire season, I don't think it's to be blamed. He gives the Orlando Pirates a foundation. The introduction, Gambogazo on the left-hand side, I think the boy has comfort. He's very good in 1v1 situation. He's strong. I lose. I've made a mistake on Makaula the entire season. I'm going to be honest with you, Nkulego, because I've been assessing his game throughout. Yes, maybe it doesn't help the Orlando Pirates in terms of progressing, but that's exactly how the Orlando Pirates wants to play. Jorge Rivero has played this entire season without a progressive midfielder. He's played this season without a restarter in midfield, without a recycler. I think Umakaula, there's 2 responsibilities they need from him. I think because Baatekang am a fullback, they don't need a 6 that moves a lot. I think coaches also who likes playing like that, or Miguel Cardoso, who likes a 6 that stays, then Angela in between a centre back, allow those fullbacks to go. So Umakaula plays behind the press. They wait for the press, then he plays behind the press. I think he's been exceptional for Orlando Pirates. I've made a mistake to him, and I want to apologize to you, my brother, because one of the reasons why I'm doing this, Nkulego, is because sometimes when you watch Umakaula, you want that midfielder.
I don't think he's exceptional. I apologize to break what you're saying, but he's not exceptional. He's doing his job, and sometimes he's at the highest. I think the reason why I keep on saying this, Orlando Pirates has had maybe the best season by any club in South African football, largely because they're achieving all the things that they're achieving without 2 midfielders.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's a temptation here to, just because with the quality of the opposition that they have to face, they never really get asked a question of, can you play make? And I made this point in this game when we were watching it, that if they're playing against a midfield, you can take any era of a midfield, they could be beaten and defeated in midfield 70% of the time because they can't play in midfield. Just because they end up winning does not mean that those midfielders are doing well. And that's why I'm saying Orlando Pirates has had a better season than anyone in this country.
For sure.
Because all of the things that they were achieving, think about what's happening with Saleng, but then on the field of play, think about the fact that how poor their midfielders are. And then think about the fact that how poor Evidence Makgopa is as a professional football player. The fact that he scored today does not change the fact that he was poor overall in that game. And I don't want to make that mistake of thinking that Macau, just because Pirates won, that Makaula was great. You have to have a midfielder. We've never in the history of the sport and in the history of this game in this country had a situation where midfielders it's like the midfielders are behind them, which are the centre backs, and then the centre backs are the midfielders. I think that's what we are turning this into. Because what they're doing is they are centre backs in midfield.
Yes.
That's why you see so many long balls behind them. Mbogazi plays better as a midfielder than those two midfielders in front of him.
Or they play more forward passes than Abu
Macau.
Macau. Because Nkulego, one of the reasons why I will give Ukoje Rivero credit, personally, is because coaching, sometimes we need to see a skill set we're coaching. For me, I think when you watch this Orlando Pirates team, is a well-coached team because he understood. I think he understood the qualities of players that he has. He knew Nkulego that I don't have special players in midfield. I think he was honest with himself, and then he chose to use them different. He doesn't use them on the ball. He sacrifices them on the ball. He says, I would rather use the technical players at the back. And that's why Usesana was so important for him in the beginning of the season. Because when Usesana and Odak went out of the team, they started even considering ngama cross or ngama set piece. You look at Umakaula. He uses him completely different. He understands, okay, he might not take care of the ball. He might not have a forward pass. I'm removing him from the restart and the build-up. I would rather use the centre backs to play those forward passes and then Badale on the second ball. And that's where the coaching element you can see. Is it something that I agree with? No. But it's something that has happened for Orlando Pirates and it has helped the Orlando Pirates to win the biggest games and games of consequence as well. Yes, for me, they might not win the league this season, but they've won important games. Urilem Fukeng has scored in important games, which is something when we speak about the player of the season, it's important to mention. Mohau Nkota, nomination for young player of the season. Those conversations, we need to start them because another conversation is Uripero's got 13 goals, 14 goals. He's played a crucial role for Mamelodi Sundowns. But Urilem Fukeng, Mr. Nkeu, he scored in very, very crucial games.
It's a conversation. Although I think Ripero
deserves it.
Gets it. Justice is giving us an indication when to wrap up. You feel like the best team won today? The better team won?
Yeah, the better team won, in my opinion. Obviously, the dressing room, the players still have hope. Mathematically, they can still win the league. But obviously, logically, we know that the league is over. But this is a big win, big game. I think these teams always like this game. And winning this match, it gives my fans bragging rights. That's the reason why they travel from all over the country to come and watch this game. So kudos to the fans. Kudos to Orlando Pirates for
there you go. Thank you so much to Lindo Pep. It's Mamelodi Sundowns later on tonight against Cape Town City. In my city, Cape Town City, strangely at number 15. Although Nabo, they have plastic motivation because they like playing Sundowns, Chiefs and Pirates. Plastic motivation is a very interesting concept. I will keep on pushing that concept or the idea of describing it that way. The reason why Chiefs is at number 9 is because to them, the fixture list only contained 3 clubs. Or 2 clubs. It's Sundowns, it's Orlando Pirates. That's why you are number 9. Because any other game, you lose it, you draw it. It's like you're not shouting at each other, you're not angry. Same with Cape Town City. Okay, you played Pirates, whatever you achieved there. You played Sundowns. Now you have to play the rest of the teams. You played Chiefs. Now you have to play the rest of the teams. If you then lose all of your games with the other teams, that's why you are number 15. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, was betting. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi bafowethu, I'm a coach for life. They are back in winning ways. Please, I tell you to subscribe to iDiskiTV.